Have you ever wondered about the devastating impact of unchecked immigration policies on everyday citizens? It's a question that has taken on a heart-wrenching significance in the wake of Kayla Hamilton's death. This young woman, barely 20, and living with autism, was brutally raped and strangled in her own home, a victim of a senseless crime that has left her family and community in shock. The suspect, a teenager with alleged links to the notorious MS-13 gang, was arrested and charged with Kayla's murder. But this wasn't his first brush with the law. Back in 2020, he had a criminal record in El Salvador, his home country, and even bore the distinctive tattoos of the MS-13 gang. Yet, despite these red flags, he managed to enter the United States illegally, crossing the Texas border and making his way to Maryland. For Kayla's mother, Tammy Nobles, the grief is compounded by a deep sense of betrayal. She believes that if the Biden administration officials had properly vetted and checked her daughter's murderer, Kayla would still be alive today. Homeland Security and the Department of Health and Human Services didn't do their jobs, she insists, a chilling accusation that places a stark spotlight on the potential consequences of immigration policies gone awry. The ripple effects of this tragedy continue to be felt as Kayla's mother, Tammy Nobles, prepares to testify before Congress. As Nobles steps into the spotlight of a congressional hearing, she carries with her a heartbreaking tale of loss and a plea for justice. With a steely resolve, Nobles relays the chilling details of her daughter's untimely demise. She was brutally murdered and raped in her room, she says, her voice reverberating in the silence of the room. He strangled her with the phone cord, robbed her of $6, and left her on the floor like trash. Her words paint a harrowing picture of the inhumanity that befell her daughter at the hands of a man who, she claims, should never have been in the country. The suspect, she reveals, had a criminal record in his home country of El Salvador from 2 years prior, and was known to have ties to the infamous street gang Mississippi 13. All they had to do was make one phone call, Nobles asserts, to find out he was on the list as a known gang member. Those two things should have kept him from entering the country. Nobles' testimony takes a sharp turn as she points an accusatory finger towards the Department of Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas, along with other government officials. They stand accused of failing to adequately handle the border crisis, resulting in the unchecked influx of dangerous individuals into the country. The alleged negligence, she suggests, is tantamount to a breach of duty and a violation of the oath of office. Homeland Security and the Department of Health and Human Services didn't do their jobs, Nobles declares with a mixture of anger and despair. If they had done their job and properly vetted and checked her murderer, my daughter would still be alive today. Her testimony serves as a stark reminder of the human cost of policy decisions, a plea for justice for her daughter, and a call to action for those in power. The room remains silent as Nobles' poignant words echo through the halls of Congress, leaving a chilling reminder of the tragic loss she has suffered. Nobles' poignant words echo through the halls of Congress, serving as a stark reminder of the human cost of policy decisions. In the aftermath of such a tragedy, the search for answers and accountability continues. The case has sparked a firestorm of criticism, particularly from Republican lawmakers who accuse Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas of a dereliction of duty and a willful violation of his oath. The crux of their argument lies in the handling of the border situation, which has seen record levels of migrant encounters. As the investigation unfolds, the House Homeland Security Committee has taken a pivotal step, initiating their final impeachment hearing, with Tammy Nobles as a key witness. Her heartbreaking testimony resonates with the gravity of the situation, echoing in the halls of justice, demanding accountability for the loss of her daughter's life. Nobles firmly believes that if the Department of Homeland Security and the Department of Health and Human Services had properly vetted and checked Kayla's murderer, her daughter would still be alive today. This belief underscores the urgent need for reform in the immigration policies and practices, particularly in the vetting process. In the face of unspeakable loss, one mother's quest for justice illuminates the urgent need for reform and accountability in immigration policies.